This is a fisherman's adventure down under.
The most tropical of tropo zones.
First Barramundi.
Running with the bait now.
Wonder bait for the old cod, who knew? Pass the rod to you, mate. Look at it. What is that? Oh, there's a shark.
It's got bobbed.
Still time for one more, I reckon.
Fish of a lifetime again! Yes!
Possibly the best beer I've ever had in my life. Welcome to Lake Tinaroo, known as the Barramundi Heaven. This is my quest for a metre-long barramundi. Let's go! Lake Tinaroo is a dammed reservoir located on the north-east horn of Australia in far north Queensland. Built in 1958 for power and irrigation to the tablelands. The reservoir area is 3,360 hectares and has created a perfect habitat for big fish. What a bit of water. The dam is artificially stocked with barramundi and now contains several world records with fish of over 70 pounds.
Restocking barras.
And on the day I arrived to the tablelands, I stumbled across one of these stockings in a local stream and helped out. It wasn't long before I had my first session for barramundi on Lake Tinaroo in Yungaburra. Here we are, Lake Tinaroo, going for our first lure session for barramundi. Little spot. Casting minnow imitations into weed beds. It wasn't long before I caught my first fish. Here we go, first fish from Tinaroo. Little catfish. Lure's the same size as the fish, but great to be off the mark. Now for a barramundi. Walking down the shoreline, found the remains of a really decent sized barramundi. Smelling pretty rancid, full of maggots now. But that is the sign that we want before starting fishing at Lake Tinaroo. But yeah, this has definitely given me confidence in an area to make a campaign to hopefully catch one of these big Tinaroo barramundis in the next 4 weeks. I'm still in the tablelands. Finding a dead one on the bank is a really good sign to say they potentially could be in the area. This is where I'm going to focus my fishing for the next few weeks anyway. There's a couple of good little points and coves and bays and stuff, which I think will be good patrol routes. So yeah, onwards and upwards. Hopefully we can get ourselves involved with a big barra from Tinaroo. Look at the size of those horns. After a few blank sessions and the purchasing of the Porn Star, my 90s Volvo, I moved to a new area of the dam on the northern shore. This area was suggested to me by Atherton Bait and Tackle as a good area to try during the winter, as it has some very deep water close to shore. I found this awesome spit with good access to extremely deep water and found shoals of bait fish, and I decided to focus my attention there for the build up to the full moon. And it was on the third day, casting in tonight, that I hooked up into my first barramundi.
Ooh!
hours and hours of casting for this moment here. Take my head torch and put it on. Here we go. First barramundi caught at Lake Tinaroo. What a beast. Oh my God, I can't believe it. 3 nights in a row, come out casting, found this point, had a few blow up. This is the first one I've actually hooked. I literally cannot believe it. What a result, yes! Tinaroo barramundi ticked. Absolute beauty. Not an absolute monster like this place can produce, but it's my first one after casting 1,000 times around the area. I knew a fish was going to come eventually, and this is my prize, the fish of 1,000 casts, Tinaroo barramundi. Just let it go. There she goes. What a moment. Get in. Big old barra carcass. Oh, what's left of it? Bones and scales. After the success of catching my first tinner barra, I moved along to a new area of the northern shore. Here we go, another species out of Lake Tinaroo. Some sort of catfish. I think it might be a bigger one of the one I caught in my first session down in Barra. But here we go, fish number 1. Such a mad looking catfish. Tinaroo catfish. Another species ticked off. Straight in. After noticing a lot of artificial light on the western shore of the dam, I decided to have a go below the area known as the Lookout. After finding my way to the bank, I found a group of cormorants working the drop-off, indicating the presence of bait, but things didn't end up too well. Coming off the back of a terrible session, I managed to lose my brand new Rapala X-Rap.
X-Rap XSXR 14.
On a submerged tree, lost 2 fish, and as I walked away from the lake I slipped over and scraped my knee. I was in the absolute pits. I was not happy, didn't want to go fishing again, but I forced myself, the day after the new moon, to come back down to the spot. It was early evening, I stripped down, got into the lake, swam out and got my Rapala back. Get back ashore and I see a load of bait busting down below the dam wall. So I crept myself up there, got myself into position and cast continuously until the sun set. And just after sunset I had my first hit, whack! The rod ripped over, but the hook pulled instantly. Made a second cast in the same spot. As I was reeling in, I wasn't feeling it, so I turned my GoPro off, and that extended pause, I got a massive hit and the rod hooped over. Struck into it, and straight away the fish came straight out of the water. It was a massive barra, and the fish that I've been after. After the fish breached, to came right in close and went underneath the log. I could feel it grating, but I put the reel into free spool, moved my position, got my rod up high, engaged again, and the fish was free from the log. Another 10 minutes of battle ensued. The fish came up, head shakes, jumps, and eventually I got the big fish in. Here it is, Lake Tinaroo, Barramundi. Absolute beast. I cannot believe it. Oh, I lost 2 good fish yesterday. Nothing compared to this. Absolutely destroyed my Rapala. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at it. What a beast. Holy God. Let's give her another drink. One last look at this monster barra from Lake Tinaroo. I literally can't believe it, I'm in shock. I've spun religiously for nearly 3 weeks. This is the day after the new moon. And look at what it's produced. What a beast. Over a metre long, between 30 and 40 pounds at least. I can't believe it. Studied the lake, ins and outs, podcasts, books, magazines, any information I could find online. Middle of winter. And I've got it. I've done it. What a fish. Yes. Lip grips are out. One last look at this beauty before I let her go. What a fish. Can't even fit my hand all the way around the wrist of the tail. Absolute chode. And away she goes. Come on! And as you can see from the footage, I was absolutely ecstatic. And unfortunately, all the footage from my GoPro has been corrupt from that fish, but doesn't matter. It was a goal achieved, and a moment I'll never forget. And the whole reason I started fishing Tinaroo was to catch that fish. It took me the best part of 3 weeks fishing around the new moon and the full moon, catching 2 barramundi, one slightly smaller, and then the fish that I was after measured 108 centimetres against my rod, and a fish that was well over 30 pounds, possibly pushing 40. Fish of a lifetime by any standards, and what a place this is. Lake Tinaroo, completed it, mate. Woo! Along the way of fishing Lake Tinaroo, I caught several different species, including tilapia, mouth almighty, catfish, and of course the barramundi. Taking a few friends along the way with me. It was an awesome experience, and I managed to use several online resources, including the Australian Lure Fishing Podcast on Spotify. And the 3 lures that did all the damage for me was a Siren Bull Minnow, Rapala X-Wrap, and a Z-Man Diesel Minnow. And I'll catch you next time.
Yes! Come on! You